and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and they my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash and love to spend. Made a killing and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Oakland Raiders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded at the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He could throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. Catch is made by Hunter Renfrow. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
Makes the score Ravens 7.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff? and they all made sure to let us know we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Ready! 10 Tucson.
Number 53, Mike 53.
61, Matchbox Lights. Ready!
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert, and to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They played really well in the win last week over the Redskins.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
Got it.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Shoot!
Operating from the gun. Herbert. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A good rally to the football holds him to 2, and that brings up a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Here's Hill on the return. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right of the yard. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line. It's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Throwing now is Murray. Flushed out right. He'll run it. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. 25 yards to the house as the Ravens push further out in front. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the play that polished it off was the touchdown run by Kyler Murray. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And some good coverage there by the kick team as they'll bring him down at the 16-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on first down. Herbert toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Kelvin Harmon, the man he was looking for. And it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Being chased out left. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The escapability in evidence there is that one. Good for 15 and a first.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
All day. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Murray now. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term, they just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Tucker now to add the point after. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score, Ravens 21.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing in the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Jacobs. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
We own them. We own them.
Off the play fake. Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15.
At their own 15-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. From the gun, Herbert. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's the Raiders punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Watch out for him on the return. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
Murray now on first down. Catch is made by Harry. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. N'Keal Harry, his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. On first down, Herbert, throw left side complete. It's Jacobs. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help with their contract time.
Catch is made. It's Harmon. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
The Raiders on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is third down and 12. Looking to throw. Herbert. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that's going to make it fourth down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
Here's the Raiders punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. First down, Murray. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. N'Keal Harry with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score, Ravens 42.
And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you're trying to mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game. The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Herbert. And his throw is incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. 3rd down here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Back to throw. Herbert. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tyus Bowser with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Here's the Raiders punter now. Standing right on his own 5-yard line. This is taken at the 23. And he'll be out right at the 35. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 48-yard line.
From just shy of midfield, Murray looking for Harry. He airs it out deep, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker now to add the point after. And the route is on here in this first half.
Makes the score, Ravens 49.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Jacobs.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
I'm coming! I'm coming!
2nd and 3.
Lockdown, baby!
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
And how about this? He takes it all the way back. No time, no flags. A punt return touchdown and a stunning end of the first half.
And they kicked it to him. They kicked it to him. Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Tucker with the extra point, and that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where it was the visiting Browns who were able to steal one on the road. Baker Mayfield, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were winners in that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Mitchell Trubisky, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, see what's happening with the Bengals. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Joe Mixon, a touchdown run in the victory. In the game you're watching, it was the former #1 overall selection, Kyler Murray, who put on an absolute show. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front. As we hand things back.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he's going to be out of bounds here right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go, boys, bring it up!
At their own 20-yard
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10, eluding the pressure right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Makes the score, Ravens 63.
The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On 1st and 10. Herbert hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Eric Armstead, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Get it.
Count Jacobs, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball, because keeping it on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game, a swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Take it at the 37, and he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
Check 55 to Mike. Hey, watch the screen. Hey.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. N'Keal Harry, 52 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. 1 play, long touchdown pass into the end zone.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go.
On the ready.
Because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off.
Ready.
Throwing on 1st down. Herbert. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we?
Let's go now.
Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. We're talking catch, everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Herbert, they'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 40-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll keep it on the ground. Wilkinson. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Hey, pick your game up.
From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert got an open man. It's Harmon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Back to throw. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Herbert. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. So unable to get any yardage at all off of the screen there on 3rd down.
And ordinarily on 3rd down, that's when you want to bring pressure. You get all your guys who want to get after the quarterback. But how about the patience they showed? Read the play, snuffed it out, and made a nice stop.
Here's the Raiders punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I we share that. We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season. And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. And it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Interception, baby. All day. All day.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
A gain of a yard. Brings up
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Jacobs. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Blake Martinez. Past the 20. And he will bring this back. It's a pick-6 and a Raven touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Walker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. So out come the Raiders. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about it. Yourself as you move on to the next one.
Here we go. 10 Tucson. They scared.
Throwing after the interception. Herbert. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Back to throw. Herbert. Jalen Ferguson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Ready to break.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Murray now to throw. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Dallas Goedert, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Herbert, throw left side complete. That's Harmon. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That last catch winds up costing him 3, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd and 13. From the gun, Herbert. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Let's go, baby!
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
They use the timeouts here. It's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Wide open receiver complete. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call.
A gain of 18 on the play. And the Ravens first down.
On the ready. 53 is the mic. Who that? Who that?
Murray's going to look to throw this thing. He sets to fire deep. And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense through the shutout, Adam, I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense is they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Ravens, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Saying amen, cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me, cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me, cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's a boss it. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me, cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me, cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the bass bird.